Fear stops us from achieving our true greatness. Are you a professional woman who is feeling stuck, unmotivated, or burned out? Are you worried about your wellness? Are you letting fear stop you from crushing your goals? If you answered yes to any or all of these, then this is the podcast for you. Dr. Charmaine Gregory, night shift emergency physician, burnout thriver, and wellness champion, along with everyday heroes just like you, will explore how to face fear in our lives and emerge victoriously.
Hello, Fearless Freedom family. Welcome to another episode of Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. Today, we have a special treat. We have the amazing, the extraordinary, the fantastic Dr. Maiysha Clairborne. Dr. Clairborne is not only a physician, but she is a physician coach, and she is up to a lot more than that. So, Dr. Clairborne, you want to tell the audience what you're up to?
Yes, but first of all, I just want to thank you, Dr. G, for having me on. I love what you're doing all around. I've been following you for a good minute, so and you have me blushing over here. So I was like, oh, the extraordinaire. But yeah, so I'm a family doc by training, and I have a specialty in integrative medicine, and I've always been an entrepreneur. So I owned an integrative medicine practice for about 10 years. And, one of the things that I'm really passionate about is doctors really loving what they do, loving what they do. We have been on this path. We have been put on this sort of like what I like to call the moving sidewalk as doctors. And a lot of times, we get off one sidewalk and we get onto the next, and the path has always been laid before us. And sometimes we wake up and we're like, where did our life go? And I don't really like the life that I'm seeing. So when I come in contact with these docs, and I primarily serve women in medicine, moms in medicine, I am committed to having them create a career they love, create a career by their design, so that they can be fulfilled and feel like they're contributing in the way that they want. And I do that through one-on-one coaching. I do that through burnout coaching, through business and entrepreneurship coaching, sales coaching, to really empower these moms in medicine to be fulfilled in everything that they do.
Awesome. Oh man, there's so much we can unpack there. So, so you mentioned I am trained in family medicine, but you kind of alluded to the fact that maybe you don't do that anymore. You want to tell us more about that?
Yes. So when I have always known that I was going to do integrative medicine, right? And before med schools, I was one of those med school cats that, I studied my regular stuff, and then I would go home and read like traditional Chinese medicine texts, like ultra uber nerd, right? And and then I would do my meditation. So I'm like kind of crunchy granola too, right? So I go on and do my meditations, my chakra balancing, and people be like, "What?" So when I came out of residency, I did not do what a normal doctor does, which is sign a contract and have a job. I came out and started my own practice, like the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, new doctor that I was, and I failed. That first practice fell flat on its face. But I learned something. I learned that, there were some things that I needed to learn and put into place, some structures that I needed to learn and put into place. And so the second time I started that practice, I was able to grow it and really create a career that was really on my terms. And but that wasn't without its challenges, right? And one of the reasons, one of the places that came from is having experienced this burnout in residency, where I realized early on that what I was doing, this treadmill thing, I was not cut out for that. If I were going to survive and thrive in this profession, I would have to create my own career. And so, fast forwarding into this integrative medicine space, there came a point where I actually got bored, believe it or not. Now, I love seeing patients.
So you got bored with integrative medicine, or you got bored with the practice of medicine in the family practice realm?
I got bored with family practice. Then I went into integrative medicine and got bored with that.
Got it. Okay.
I'm kind of I don't know. I think that's why I chose family medicine in the first place. But I got bored, and it wasn't that I got bored with the medicine itself. It's I got bored with one to one to one, like just seeing patients. I felt like, well, there has to be a bigger impact. And for me, that bigger impact ended up being doctors. Like for every doctor who I feel like I bring back to the fulfillment of what they're up to, I impact thousands of patients.
Oh, definitely.
And so,
yeah.
Yeah. So to answer your question, that was like such a roundabout way of answering the question. But to answer your question, I 2 years ago, this is 2019, 2 years ago, I sold my practice after having owned it for 10 years and
Wow.
transitioned fully into coaching other moms in medicine, helping them create their ideal careers in the life that they design.
Wow,
And
that's a bold move. I mean, to sell your practice of a decade, which I'm sure at this point you have built up quite a patient base and probably a pretty decent like living from that, right? And then you're stepping out completely on faith to do something different and new and innovative. Wow. So you have to talk about that, because I know there was some fear associated with that, and you have to tell us how you overcame that.
So first of all, when we're trained, we get good at what we do as doctors. But I was going into a whole new realm of coaching. Not only that, but coaching my peers. So for me, it's like, well, when you're a physician coach, when you're a physician seeing patients, you're the expert. But as a person to peer, coaching her peers is like, well, who am I to say I'm an expert? It's that imposter syndrome, right? So who am I to say I'm an expert? And it really just took, for me, I had to map on, okay, I already know that I know what I know because I've coached successfully in my practice because I was coaching, women before then. And I had to map on that I know that I can get results and just step out in faith and start to coach. Now, the first time I had a mom doc say yes to me, I was like, what? You're gonna pay
Were you
me
kind
to
of
coach
like,
you?
okay, what am I gonna do now? Or
Exactly. I was like, okay, I better get some results now, And I did. And I have to tell you, Dr. G, after it's been like 3 years, just about 3 years total in practice, 2 years, full time in doing this coaching practice. Even just a month ago, I still had an episode of this whole imposter syndrome. And it was interesting because it came out of nowhere. So I'm saying that to say, for those of you out there who are, who think that this goes away, it surfaces from time to time. And there will be different triggers. And what there was for me to do, and what I say that there is to do, is to make sure you have people in your life who can remind you of who you are. So
right there, y'all, that's a big pearl she just dropped. Surround yourself with the people that are going to uplift you and remind you how amazing you are, because you're amazing.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I know that I could not have done what I've done by myself. And community has become such an important thing to me. It's why, my programs are group programs now, because I want to build that kind of community, that kind of support for other people. I think historically in the medical profession, and we are fairly competitive. We can be isolated. We're like, suspicious of each other. And I feel like building a community is how we all grow together. There's an African proverb that I love. If you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
Nice. I think I might have to put that as the quote for this podcast today.
That's one of my favorite quotes, because it just reminds you of how important community is. And I'm a playful one. I love playing with others, and I love people who play well together. Because we're better together. That's the bottom line, So I get afraid, a lot, really. And it's not about I think that it's not about getting rid of the fear. It's
Right.
about what you do in the face of fear, like what you, Dr. G, have done in the face of fear. Oh my God.
What is she talking about, y'all? I don't know what she's talking about.
Girl, with the creation of your speaking career, with the creation of everything that you have created, including this wonderful podcast.
Oh,
Yes.
Thank you. Now I'm blushing. See, that's supposed to happen. The host not supposed to be the one blushing.
Yes, but you have to be acknowledged for your accomplishments, reminded of like who you are, because you are amazing.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. For sure. So yeah, I really feel like that, we think that we have to get over our fear in order to take action. And courage is not the absence of fear, but action in spite of fear. So we don't have to get over our fear. We just have to be courageous enough to not let fear be the determinant of our actions. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, preach it. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
that's the truth right there.
Yeah. So, last month I was having this, I just shared just a little bit of a piece of it. I don't want to take too much time with it, but, my brand is a stress-free mom MD. And people are coming to know the brand, for here and there. But my girlfriend told me, she's a coach, she's a marketing coach. She's like, yeah, you need to be branding yourself, as in like Dr. Maiysha. And I'm like, but people connect with the stress-free mom MD, they connect with, they're not gonna, how are they going to really connect with me as a person? Like, who am I that's going to make them, want to follow me? And she's like, are you kidding me? You are the stress-free mom MD. So then like waterworks happened. Like I just started to like cry. She's like, what the heck is going on with you? I'm like, I don't know. So then I called my other friend, mutual friend, Dr. Manny St. Victor. And
I know Manny.
Yeah, that's my boy, man. So, he's a coach too. And I said, Manny, this thing came up for me. And, Manny does a lot of work with mindset and getting rid of limiting beliefs and things like that. And so I shared with him what had happened, and he was like, what do you mean people won't follow you? You mean like, no, what did he say? Oh, I said, the conversation that came up, and this is, I think the source of some conversations of fear is, am I enough?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Am I enough?
Feel that way a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the fear of, am I enough? So that people will listen to what I have to say, as opposed to the stress-free mom MD. Like I've been hiding behind that brand. And he said, and I recently did this for National Physician Week, this event called Behind the White Coat Conversations Unplugged. And so he says to me, and I'm in Atlanta, for those of you who don't know, I'm in the ATL. And he says to me, I said, am I enough? That what I say will matter. He was like, what do you mean what you say? You mean, this is the same Dr. Maiysha who had people in tears, at the event that we just did 2 weeks ago? And I was like, oh, good point. So again, it's like having the people around you who remind you of who you are. And in that moment, I realized, wow, I really thought after 15 years in practice as a physician, and then 3 years as a coach, 10 years as a coach, 3 years as a full-time physician coach, that I would have come past imposter syndrome. And it just, it just doesn't end. And so you have to pursue that ongoing personal growth and development. You have to keep, opening up the conversation. You got to keep talking to people around you, and keep knowing that just because the fear comes up, it really doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. So you had a first first out the gate, you started to practice. That didn't go well. Well, it didn't go well, but it sounds like you had a lot of lessons learned from that experience. And then the second iteration was more robust and lasted for a decade. And then as you were doing this, of course, you were building up a muscle and a skill with coaching and all the other things that you're getting involved in. And then you were able to branch out on your own to do specifically physician coaching and focusing on the physician mom. And that has been going well for the last 3 years. So, oh my, when I look at the accolades and when I look at all of the accomplishments, man, it sounds to me like you are way more than enough. So I was like, you got a lot going on there. I'm just saying, so it's just so funny because, you definitely said it very eloquently when you're like, well, why do we feel this way? It's just like, why do we feel this way when we are high achievers to start off with? And so the baseline is a high bar. And then you have done so many other things on top of that. So yes, you deserve to be here. Yes, you deserve to be doing these things. But it's just kind of like, some people will say that's the devil talking, like on the shoulder, trying to tell you, oh, you're not good enough, Well, you got to listen to your angel on the other side that's saying, oh, heck you're good enough because you got here, you're doing it, keep doing it,
That's right. Thank you. Oh my gosh. It's funny when you said it back to me, I was like, oh, wow, that's a lot. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, no problem. So tell me, is there anything that you're up to right now that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah. So, well, before I share that with the audience, I just want to share one more thing. You just brought up something for me about the first practice didn't go well. So a lot of times, just another fear pearl for you.
Yeah.
People fear failure. And I made a point to say that my first practice failed on purpose because what we don't realize about failure is that it's feedback. Yes. So I always say failure is like the life's GPS system. And when you're in the car and you're driving down the road, and the GPS says turn right and you miss the turn, you don't pull on the side of the road and then get out the car and throw your keys on the ground and be like, I quit driving forever. Nobody does that. No, you don't.
Nobody does that. Right.
What happens is the GPS will say recalculating. And then you just take the next turn. You just adjust. So I really, when you said that, it brought that, I wanted to drop that pearl because I really feel like we need to shift our context of what failure really is. And then when you shift the context of what failure really is, then there's no fear around it. It's just like, it's test and adjust. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in a relationship, whatever, we get fears about failing at so much. If you're a mom, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Am I going to ruin my children?
My kid's going to grow up to be a criminal. And, it's like, no.
I still can't believe they let us take our kids home, but whatever. That's another story.
So I just wanted to share that little bit because I felt like that's an important thing for people to really get about failure,
No, that's a good one. I appreciate you sharing that. And I love how you put it in the context of it being a GPS. So that's really a great analogy because you can definitely relate to that and visualize it and I don't get out the car and throw the keys down,
right.
Really, what? I mean,
right. It's kind of ridiculous,
I'm still alive, right? I'm still breathing. So I can get up and I can dust myself off and I can keep going here. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's all about perspective.
Perspective. Sure. The context is everything. So then to answer your other question, what's up now? So the latest thing, I launched this course, it's a group course called the Employee to Entrepreneur, a Business Startup Accelerator. So it's to help my mom's in medicine, just had an audiologist come on board. So it's not just doctors, it's doctors and nurse practitioners and PAs and pharmacists and dentists and whoever, the women in medicine come on board and have an idea they want to take from inception to launch within a 9 to 10 month period. And it's a wonderful group program. So if people want to learn about that program, they can go to nextlevelphysicians.com. And even though it's nextlevelphysicians.com, like I said, it's not just for physicians, for all moms in medicine. And I'm getting ready to launch, because I feel like this is a thing, a sales course. Sales for medical professionals.
You mean for professionals to be able to do sales? Is it going to be for,
yes.
Is it going to be like for promoting your practice, or is it going to be promoting your side gig, or what kind of sales?
No, it is the skill of selling.
Got it.
Selling
so the
made
psychology
sexy.
Behind the methodology behind. Okay, got it.
Yeah, like taking the mystery out of selling, because I think so many people talk about fears. They have this like a resistance to fear of selling themselves. But if you think about it, we're all salespeople all the time. You know, when you tell, so I just want to create a course around that.
Salespeople right here in my house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
they're aged 7, 9, and 10.
Yep. And I've got a 4-year-old one.
Well, there you go.
And no amount of objections that you say will get rid of that salesperson. Correct. So that's sort of what's next on the platform is, you know, in May, I'm going to launch I call it Selling Made Sexy. So it's like how to sell without feeling like you're selling and without sounding like you're salesy, you know?
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good, because a lot of times people don't have that piece under wraps. Like they, just bombard, and, you know, there's no relationship. There's no conversation. There's no like human interaction. Like I just think it's really funny. The only reason why I say all this is because I have had a little bit of experience with multi-level marketing, right? So just in my background.
Too.
And I have learned so much doing that.
Yes.
But one of the things that I learned is kind of funny is like someone will be super excited about something. So I don't know, they have a new device they want to sell. And they're just so excited about this device that they forget that when you are meeting someone for the first time, you're never going to see someone for the first time and be like, hi, my name is Charmaine, and do you want to buy my X or Y? That's weird. You know what I mean? Like, so why would you then send somebody a message in Messenger or however modality with, hi, I'm Charmaine, do you want to buy my X or Y? What? I have no idea who you are. You have never like shown any interest in me. Like we have no relationship. It's all about trust. You know, my kid asking me something over and over, I get it. I've been there their whole lives. I know them. Like, you know, it's different.
Yeah.
So that's when I think salesy, that's kind of what I think. That whole like, hi, how are you doing? Buy my blank.
Exactly. It's like develop a relationship with people, provide value to those people.
That's a huge thing.
You know, get in other people's world, man. Like, what do they want? You know, it's like people sell by wanting to tell you about their stuff all the time. Nobody cares about your stuff. You know, like I'm like very clear. Nobody cares about my programs, you know, until they get to know me.
That's
and they
correct.
really,
it's
like,
and then they trust you, and then they know that you're bringing like, that just your interest is not just your own interest. Your interest is actually, you know, in making them better in some way. And the modality in which you're going to help them to be better in that way is through the program. So I think that's the thing that a lot of people like miss out on. I don't know.
Yeah. There's an old saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's true. That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny too, like having been like a salesperson, quote unquote. I got my little fingers going up, quotes. You know, having been like a salesperson, you know, outside of like everyday selling, because I mean every day you're selling something. Like every day that I am caring for patients in the emergency department, I am selling their diagnosis and their plan to them. I am selling their diagnosis and their plan to my colleagues to get them to admit them to the hospital. I am constantly selling, right? But it is not a product. It is like a service, right? So there's a difference. So when you start talking about like selling a product, you know, it's like, oh, okay, you know. So I've learned so many things just being in that situation where I was actually selling a product. And so now when someone's selling me something, like today, somebody called me from an internet service, and they were trying to sell me something. And I was like, I kind of was analyzing the conversation from the standpoint.
Yes, okay, you do that too.
So how are you talking to me right now? Like, are you distracted? Like, what are you doing? You know?
Right. That's so hilarious. I love it.
And at the end, I was like, I think I kind of like conveyed some things, and I gave the guy a little bit of feedback during the conversation, and he was very appreciative, which is usually not
very cool.
And so at the end, you know, I kind of was like, I did the whole thing where you say no, but you encourage the person as you're saying it. This is a trick I learned from one of my OG EM docs. So basically,
super cool.
This is really cool. It's like, thank you for thinking of me for this, whatever it is. I am currently not interested in that thing. However, if I do become interested in that thing, I will definitely let you know. And once again, thank you for thinking of me. So it's literally like you're saying no, right? But you are saying no in such a fashion that it like doesn't deflate the person completely. Because, you know, some of the, I don't know if you go into this in your program, but like some of the training in sales, some aspects of it, it can be like going for the no, you know, like you just bombard people, which I don't know if this is the best way. I really don't think it's the best way, but like, you know, you bombard people, as many people as possible on, you know, you get no.
Right.
Like some of them even say like, go for like 100 no's, which I think is kind of crazy.
Oh,
but
yeah,
anyway,
that's crazy.
You know, no, until that one person that you come across is going to say yes. And it's almost like you want to get to the point where maybe they say no, but now, you know, like you're in their sphere, you know, like you're on their radar now. So, okay, maybe they're not interested right now, but you keep nurturing, you keep involving yourself, and perhaps the next iteration will be a yes, you know?
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. You know, there's so many things that are just like, so I'm sure you're going to go into a lot of this stuff. And so it's super exciting that you're doing this course, because I feel like so many of us really do need something like that, because we all want like, oh, I don't know about we all, but maybe the people I surround myself with, we all have side gigs.
Same here.
Like,
Same.
We all have side gigs, or they're like, they have something they're doing, they're branding themselves, or, you know, even if they are just branding themselves and they're trying to promote their practice, you know, it is just really, you still have to sell yourself. You still have to promote yourself. You still have to brand yourself. And so, you know, having an attitude where you're going to be, like you mentioned, which I think is crucial, which is providing that value to the audience, showing that you care about them, and then also, you know, making it not about you, but making it really about how can you make their life better, right? And then you're going to be making their life better through what you're offering, which is pretty neat. But everybody wins. Yeah, no, you know, that's so funny. So cool.
Thank you. It's so funny. One of my mentors would say, what's people's favorite radio station? It's WIIFM. What's in it for me?
Me, yes. Oh yeah, because you better believe that when that guy was talking to me today, I was like, all right, what you gonna offer me here? Like, what you got?
Exactly.
Because he was like all night. He was like, hey, your domain, this domain is doing well. Have you ever thought about this domain? I'm like, I'm not in that season of my business right now. Right. Thank you for telling me.
Sweet.
Oh my God. Awesome. So definitely I will include, so hey y'all, this one, so just so you know, we're going to include the link to Dr. Clairborne's course on sales, and the other, and what was the other one that you mentioned?
Oh, the Employee to Entrepreneur Business Startup Accelerator.
Awesome. So both the accelerator and the sales course, we're definitely going to have those two links in the show notes. So be sure to look out for that and sign up for that if that is in your realm, because it could definitely take you higher. So you should definitely get on board. So
one of the things,
go ahead.
Real quick, for those, if you go on and you have questions, I do complimentary discovery calls. So if you have questions about the course, you want to know if is it right for you, is is this the right time to do something like this? Then from the page, you can actually book a free discovery call. It's a time where I spend an hour with you, really just going over what's your current circumstance, really what you want to do. I give you a high level pathway of how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And then you really get to choose for yourself whether this is the right time or the right program, or I'm the right coach for you. So I just want to let people know that, they can have a call with me if they're not quite sure.
Oh, awesome. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to definitely take advantage of, because you really don't know if the coach is right for you until you talk to them. So definitely take advantage of that, so that's good. Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
Yay.
Right. Cool. So we covered a lot of ground today. I am excited about that. That's great. So, we have to kind of do our traditional fill in the blank now. You ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. All right, cool. The first one is, to me, fearless freedom means.
To me, fearless freedom means stepping out on faith and acting in spite of fear.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next one is, if I am fearless, I will.
Ooh, if I am fearless, I will put myself out there unleashed and be unstoppable in providing value and creating fulfillment for the people that I love to serve.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey.
Awesome. And then last but not least, my battle cry is.
Oh, my battle cry is, oh my God, this is a hard one. Live life on your terms. Live a life you design.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Clairborne, for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with us, the Fearless Freedom Tribe, and share all of that amazing knowledge that you dropped for us and those pearls. We really appreciate that. And we will definitely be looking to see your star continue to rise.
Oh, well, thank you, Dr. G, for inviting me. I just want to thank you for everything, for all that you do. Like Fearless Freedom, Women with White Coats in the emergency medicine field. I mean, you're amazing. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be on the show, and I look forward to being connected with you for a long time and seeing you and getting to hug you in person at some point in the near future.
I know, right? We should definitely have a face-to-face meeting at some point. Really?
I know. Before 2019 ends, I declare it.
Okay, all right. It's out there. Done. It is out there.
Yes.
Awesome.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for being on here. Thank you for joining us today on this journey. Fear is all around us. It strives to stop us from achieving our greatness. We have the tools to be overcomers. By sharing our stories, supporting each other, and doing self-reflection, we can do this. If you found value in this conversation today, please be sure to subscribe to and share this podcast with your friends. By going to your favorite podcast platform, leaving a review and a 5-star rating, you will help to get the word out about it. And that is much appreciated. Thanks again for spending time with us. I appreciate your time and your attention. It is my hope that you will punch fear in the face today and that you will be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness.